Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do the October the 29th just for today in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's go ahead and get into that meditation, see what we have here. The title of the meditation is Living in the Now. Living in the Now. Living just for today relieves the burden of the past and the fear of the future. Now, that comes from our basic text, page 94. Thoughts of how bad it was or could be can consume our hopes for recovery. Fantasies of how wonderful it was or could be can divert us from taking action in the real world. That's why in Narcotics Anonymous, we talk about living and recovering just for today. In NA, we know that we can change. We've come to believe that our higher power can restore the soundness of our minds and hearts. The wreckage of our past can be dealt with through the steps. By maintaining our recovery just for today, we can avoid creating problems in the future. Life in recovery is no fantasy. Daydreams of how great using was or how we can use successfully in the future, delusions of how great things could be, overblown expectations that set us up for disappointment and relapse, all are stripped of their power by the program. We seek God's will, not our own. We seek to serve others, not ourselves. Our self-centeredness and the importance of how great things could or should be for us disappears. In the light of recovery, we perceive the difference between fantasy and reality. Just for today, I am grateful for the principles of recovery and the new reality they've given me. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. Living in the now, living just for today relieves the burden of the past and the fear of the future. And I think for me, if I think about who I am and who I've been in recovery, that character defect of fear has most certainly been the one that has lingered the longest, right? Uh, it, and so the opportunity through Narcotics Anonymous and working the steps, right? Working this program, living this program in my life, through it, I've been able to get some reprieve from that fear, that paralyzing fear, the thought, right, of being relieved of the burden of my past, right? Not worrying about what people can find out about me, not worrying about what I did. To be, to have that relief is, I don't know, it's up there in that top 10 things that I have found beneficial for me. It's in that top, like, you know how you go through life and you say, oh, when this happened, I became a different person. When this particular thing happened, when I got married, that was the greatest day of my life. Or when I got, and you can fill in the blank, right? I would say for me to have paralyzing fear taken away from me. That burden of worrying about what I did, how I said it, who's going to find out, to have that relief. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's very relieving. It's very satisfying. And it's something that anyone can have it. Anyone can have it. I mean, there's no big eyes or little U's. If I can have that freedom, if I can be relieved from the burden of the past, right? And be relieved of the fear of the future. For me, it was the burden was the fear that I had of people not accepting me because of my past. To find that relief, if I can have it, you can have it. But it takes the same effort. And I want to say it takes the same level of effort because for some people, they're recovering from less, right? What they're recovering from is a lot different than what the next person is recovering from. So I don't want to say that it takes the same effort per se doing the exact same things. But in Narcotics Anonymous, we keep it pretty simple, right? Get in the program, don't use drugs, make meetings, don't use in between the meetings, find yourself a sponsor, start working the steps with your sponsor, and applying those applicable suggestions that your sponsor might give you that could possibly make your life better. That's it. If anything is the same about how we do it, it's the fact that you should apply yourself completely, 100% all in. And when we give our best effort, that's what I'm talking about, right? When we give our best effort, we get best results, we get better results, we get that. And it changes depending on who we're talking about. But generally speaking, it is a true statement to say if you applied the principles, spiritual principles of this program in all of your affairs, you're going to have the same result as anyone else. Positive results. Living in the now is such a gift, especially for someone, like I say, that has been riddled with fear all of her life. It was like scaring me was the family joke. See how much you can scare her, right? And watch her reaction and then sit around and laugh at her response. So it was instilled in me to be fearful. It was comical for other people. It was real for me. It wouldn't matter what it was, from waking up with a pig's head in the bed next to me to some other things that I considered I considered to be very, very inhumane. There were so many things that I survived, but the whole goal was always to see me be afraid and see what my reaction was and get a good laugh. And so for me, an individual that had that instilled in them to be fearful of every little thing, everything that moves, every situation was always life and death. And that's how it was played out with me. That's how it was put on the table for me. And so to come into Narcotics Anonymous and actually be able to go to sleep and wake up some days, go to sleep and wake up and not have fear enter the picture at all, to have a peace that Narcotics Anonymous helped me develop, mostly through prayer and meditation and turning my will over to the care of God as I understood him, right? Is such a gift. And I want for everyone to have that. I want everyone to come away from the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, because really the program handles all of that. All of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, all of the regrets. Narcotics Anonymous, this program of recovery has a step for it. It has something for it that has been proven to work for other individuals. And I just submit to you, if it can work for them, it can work for you. So if you're tired enough, if you are tired enough of dealing with the burden of your past and fearing the future, never getting anywhere completely because that paralyzing fear always comes up. You're always haunted by the bugaboos of the past, as a basic text would say it, right? If you're tired of that, then draw a line in the sand and step across it and say, you know what? The stuff on that other side of that line yesterday, right? Up until that very moment that you make that decision, all of that stuff is the past, and I am not going to allow it to control me. I'm going to apply the spiritual principles of this program to every situation. I double dog dare you. Try to apply spiritual principles to every situation unannounced, right? We don't have to go in with a big trumpet, but every situation that comes up, tell yourself, I'm going to practice the principle of surrender. I'm going to practice the principle of forgiveness. I'm going to practice the spiritual art of listening to other people without having to have a comeback. Just try it for a day. Just try it for one day and see if you feel better about the day when you go to do your 10th step than all of the other days where you chose not to apply it, because it is a choice. I hope that you'll have a wonderful day. I hope that you'll make the decision today to live in the here and now, right? Because there's so much in the present that is beautiful, especially now that we're clean, especially now that we have real friends, especially now that we can make honest commitments. We don't have to lie about anything. We don't have to steal anything. We don't have to do any of that ragged stuff that we used to do. We don't have to be raggedy anymore. We have such a beautiful opportunity to live life, enjoy our lives, enjoy our families, enjoy our careers, enjoy our goals, our dreams. Yeah, I gotta pummel you with it. I gotta make sure that you understand that this is something that we say we always wanted, and now that we have it, we're afraid to even access it, but we don't have to be. We don't have to be. We can have a beautiful day on purpose. You know that? We can have a beautiful day on purpose. We can decide to apply spiritual principles in all of our affairs, like step 12 talks about, and have a beautiful day on purpose. When something raggedy comes our way, we can decide, I'm not dealing with that. I don't have to deal with that. I'm not accepting that, and I'm not getting ready to deal with that. When you want to approach and come in with something that's positive rather than negative, rather than being pessimistic, that's when we can deal, right? You have choices today, and I want you to access those. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose because I sure intend to. Talk to you tomorrow.